I'm Karin, and welcome to my world. I want to talk about change. This is part two, and it's probably not going to be very multidimensional, this part, but I feel it's incredibly important to how we move in this world. I'm going to start again with referring to one of my two favorite cartoons. I'm going to do the other one another time, I promise, but this one is a speaker addressing an audience, and the speaker asks, "Who wants change?" Everyone raises their hands. Then he asks, "Who wants to change?" And nobody raises their hands. I am sure we all know the situation where we don't really like the way people around us are behaving. It can be the boss who never calls back to his customers and who never does his job on time, or it can be the friend who just never pays their part of the bill when you're out and always expect you to pay. It can be the partner, anyone you're romantically involved with, whom you feel should do things differently. And much of the time, we spend a fair amount of time saying, well, if they would just do this differently, behave in that way, change this, then it would be fine. Well, here's the deal. You can't change people, period. And it would be a right mess if you could. Because your boss may have a wife and 3 friends, and the changes you want might not be the ones the wife wants or the friends wants. So how, if you had the power to change another person, how would that make sense? What entitles you to be that powerful? To have that kind of power over other people to make them change? Because who says you're right? That's one aspect of it. Now, here's the thing. So you can't change people. That sucks, because that would be super nice for us personally if we could. But you can change you. If you change, any interaction you have with everyone around you will change and be different. There's a catch, though. You can't know how it will change. You don't know if you suddenly need to get another job because now you just can't stand it anymore, or the boss suddenly can't stand you and he fires you. You don't know if you're falling out of love utterly and completely with your partner because it just doesn't make sense anymore. You don't know if you need to change half of your friend group and find some other ones. There's no saying how the change will manifest. But what is given is that if you change, that your relationship with other people will change. So why is that even interesting? Or why is that even something anyone wants to do? Well, first of all, it's really about being in control of yourself. If someone annoys you, if you did not have a big red button they could push, you wouldn't be annoyed. What really pisses you off wouldn't affect you if you didn't have any number of big red buttons that people could push. So if you would like to not be annoyed and not be irritated and not constantly think about how other people ought to do and behave, etc., and they're not going to, period. I mean, again, you can't change people, so no matter how many times you wish they would be different, they're not going to be, unless they personally decide to change. But if that is not a pleasant place for you to be, if being annoyed by other people, if constantly wishing they would do things differently is something that disturbs your peace of mind, keeps you from being balanced, keep you from being calm when family members criticize you? Can you just smile and say, you know, that's fine by me that you feel that way? Or are you going to get into an argument? Or are you going to stand up in rage and leave the room and never see them again? How would you like to respond to these things? How would you personally, in your behavior and how you feel, like to respond to the people around you? And if you want to get closer to the just smile and say, well, you know, whatever, then you have a number of big buttons to diffuse. You have some things to work on. And what seems like an annoyance from other people is actually a blessing. Because every time I react in anger, irritation, being hurt, whatever, every time someone's words or actions make me feel that way, it's a sign to me that I have something I would like to work on. Because I don't like to feel that way. One of my standard phrases is, you can't hurt me. You can't offend me and you can't hurt me, period. And if you do, it means that I have something to work on. Because it means you just got to me. And you can't if I don't have a red button. So if I'm affected by something that another person does or says, I have some work to do. I have a red button to diffuse. And there are ways to do that. That's in several other talks, it's just not one. But the point is that if you don't like how people around you behave, you can't change them. But you can change how you react to them. And that actually puts you in control. That takes you out of being a victim, takes you out of martyrdom, takes you out of anger, takes you out of anything that could disturb your peace of mind, and puts you back in the control seat. Because now you no longer have to sit around and wait in vain for them to do things differently. You can change things. If the family member who always criticizes you or rolls your eyes at you or say you ought to get a decent job and what's this thing, you suddenly react differently. If you can just smile and love them and be compassionate about where they are in life and what challenges they're facing, and not be provoked about what they say, the whole atmosphere is going to change. I'm not saying in what direction, because this doesn't mean that they're suddenly going to love you and turn into better people. No. They might just as well get more and more angry with you because you're not reacting the way you used to. They find comfort in your reactions being the same. They can push the same button. They get the same reaction. Suddenly they don't. You just sit there and smile and beam love at them. And they might get up it might be them who gets up in anger and leaves the room and won't ever see you again. That can happen. Or if you change your behavior with a friend that's been feeling toxic, suddenly you say, you know, I don't want to do this way anymore. And you don't even have to say it. You just change the way you react and the way you behave. And you may never hear from this friend again. That can happen. That's when you need to go out and find some new friends that resonate better with your changes. So you can't change people, you can change you, and the catch is there's absolutely no knowing where that will lead you. But chances are that you will feel better, and you will feel more balanced, and you will feel more calm. And it won't be all the time, and every time you think you diffused all the red buttons, you're going to find 3 new ones, and you can start again. But it puts you in the control seat of how you want to react to people and how you want them, what people you want in your life, and how you want the people in your life to be. So that's a thought. Thank you for now.